Is it time for the 76ers to hit the panic button? So the other day, the 76ers had a team meeting get leaked where Tyrese Maxey called out Joel Embiid for being late and not showing up to team events. And when the reporters asked Joel Embiid about this team meeting, he said whoever leaked it is a real piece of word. He then went on to say, but even then we talked about a lot of things. I don't want to get into the details, but the whole thing probably took 30 seconds. And yes, we're all thinking the same thing. That makes absolutely no sense. He said we talked about a lot of things and it only lasted 30 seconds. That's not, the math isn't mathing right there. But anyways, this has just been more bad news on top of bad news because the 76ers had really high expectations going into this year. I mean, after signing Paul George to a max deal, it looked like they had finally got their missing piece to make a championship run, but this has not been the case whatsoever. I mean, the 76ers have been absolutely terrible. They're tied for the worst record in the entire NBA. Now, granted, they've dealt with injuries. Paul George hasn't played many games, but in the games he has played, he looks like a shell of his former self. And Joel Embiid simply just hasn't played many games, whether it's dealing with injuries, load management, or getting suspended for shoving a reporter. But even as bad as they've been, and as much as it looks like they need to hit the panic button, being in the East, if they go on a 4-game win streak, they're right back in playoff contention. And that's not a joke either. They would legitimately be pushing for a playoff spot in the East with 6 wins.